Hey friends, so I'm making another bedridden video. So, sorry I'm not living a more exciting life, although it is pretty exciting today because yesterday, as many of you know, was my birthday. And last night, in the middle of the night, I woke up thinking that I had dislocated my knee. Now, for those of you who are new and don't know, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and I have frequent dislocations. So when I have a pain in the middle of the night, it's just normal for me to assume that it was a dislocation. So um, my knee was really bugging me, and so I decided to get up and go have a look at it. And when I threw the blankets off of myself to get out of bed, I saw a black widow. And so I went into the bathroom, and sure enough, right there on my knee, two little puncture marks. Telltale sign of our beloved Black Widow friend. So for my birthday, I got bit by a Black Widow about a week after breaking my toe. I mean, it's been a rough couple of weeks. So anyway, I'm in the thick of it right now. The bite looks good. I did put thank God for herbalism, I put a plantain and charcoal poultice on it as soon as it happened to help draw out the venom. So that helped a lot. The bite looks really good today because of that. And then I cleaned it up really good this afternoon with soap and water, and then an antiseptic. I used iodine, and then I put some myrrh salve on it, and that should help keep infection out. I do make the myrrh salve. I'll have to put it in my Etsy after this. I usually have a drawing salve for things like this, where I mean, plantain and charcoal are two of the ingredients in the drawing salve, but the drawing salve has a lot more stuff in there too. And I actually have a friend, Angelica, who I met because somebody told her about my drawing salve when she was bitten by a brown recluse. So, and it healed her bite right up. So, I should really have some of that made and on hand in my house, but I actually just gave away my last tin not very long ago. So, as you can tell, I'm not feeling great. I am not concerned enough to go to the hospital or the doctor's office because of coronavirus. So, I'm just going to have to tough it out. And I've actually been bitten by a black widow before, but I don't think that I got nearly as much venom that time as I did this time. So I just wanted to share my Black Widow story with you guys. I might make this like an over the next couple of days type of video where, you splice it together and talk about it at the end of the week. I don't know. Or I might just post it immediately after I make it. I'm not sure. But I'm experiencing fatigue. I've already taken 2 naps today. And I didn't get out of bed until almost noon, which isn't terribly abnormal for me, but the napping is. I don't really take naps. And then I have chills. I've had chills all day. I feel cold, keep shivering, just cannot get warm. Um, Nausea, headache, confusion, muscle cramping, stomach ache. It's not fun. It's definitely not fun. I would say that overall the symptoms are not severe enough. I'd say they're moderate symptoms, not mild, not severe, just sort of in the middle. And I think the thing that's bugging me the most is probably the headache at the moment because it hurts. But can't blame the spider. She was just trying to snuggle. Maybe she wanted to wish me happy birthday. She was mad I didn't invite her to my party. I don't know. But I feel like maybe I should rename my YouTube channel a series of unfortunate events or something along those lines because I cannot believe how much bad luck I've had lately. I'm trying to stay positive. I definitely was cursing earlier. I told my husband, I don't effing want to do this anymore. I feel like crap. And then I took a nap and I felt a little bit better, but it's going to be a rough couple of days. From all the research that I've done, and my previous experience with these bites, like it's basically like having the flu, but with a few added weird things like the muscle spasms and cramping and stuff. And if it's severe enough, you can actually end up hallucinating. You can get a fever. I don't have any of that, so hopefully that won't happen. And then, of course, I have to keep a really close eye on the bite itself because if you, if you ever Google, spider bites, especially black widow and brown recluse spider bites, you'll see people with like holes in their skin and it just looks horrible. Now, with the brown recluse, their venom is actually necrotic. It's basically like eats away at the tissue, it kills the tissue around the bite. Whereas the black widow, her venom is a neurotoxin, so it affects the nervous system. But sometimes what can happen, because she has kind of big fangs, she can accidentally inject bacteria or fungal spores into your skin along with the bite, or the bite can become infected at a later point, and that's kind of what causes that awfulness. So I feel confident because it was right after I got bit that I cleaned it up and put a poultice on it, that won't happen. If it does start to look like that's happening, of course, I'll be going to the hospital and getting antibiotics. Even herbalists take antibiotics sometimes. It's, at least herbalists that don't want a huge gaping hole in their legs from a spider bite will take antibiotics if needed. I will try to avoid it as much as possible, but if it's necessary, I will take them. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that I had a great birthday until about 4 in the morning when I was bitten by the black widow. So I guess it wasn't technically on my birthday. It was the day after my birthday. Maybe she was mad she wasn't invited. I don't know. So that's what I'm working with. I haven't done anything today. I have not done a damn thing. I haven't gotten out of bed except to go to the bathroom because I just I'm not well. I was already in a flare because of Ed's, and now with the spider bite on top, it's just, I feel like I have the flu kind of. So I'll be probably hanging out right here for the next 5 to 7 days as this venom works its way through my body. Unless things, get too severe for me to handle. It has been about, let's see, I want to say it's been about 14 or 15 hours since I got bitten. And I think I'm probably in the worst of it right now. Hopefully it will get better from here on out, and it won't get worse before it gets better, but we'll see. I do think that it was probably quite a bit of venom just from the intensity of pain at the bite. Typically black widows don't actually inject you with very much venom, if any at all, because it's very precious to them. They need that for their survival. So where I got bit and how it happened. I got bit on my knee, on the outside of my left knee, and it happened, I'm pretty sure, when I was rolling around in bed trying to get comfortable because my hips were coming out. Because I rolled over and then I felt the pain that made me think that my knee was dislocated. So I threw the blankets off, like I said, and I saw our friend Little Miss Spider. So, not a super interesting story, but I will be shaking out my blankets every night before I go to bed from now on. I usually do that in the winter anyway. Here in Colorado, we have some creepy crawlies you don't want to snuggle with, so I usually do that anyway, but I forgot. So I did shake out my blankets. I had to wake up my husband and have him shake out his blankets too. We don't share blankets because we can't. We fight over them. So he has his own blankets. So I woke him up to shake out his blankets and told him what was going on. And then I put some cedarwood oil. Just straight cedarwood essential oil is a wonderful spider repellent. So I put some on several cotton pads and stuck them all around my mattress. So hopefully that'll deter any future spider snuggles from occurring. But I really wanted to make a video today about all of my different mobility aids and braces for Eds. And so I guess I will have to get to that at a later date. And then I also wanted to make a video. I was kind of going to do like a top 10 all day. So I was going to do like my top 10 must have items for eds, and then my top 10 must have items for crocheting, and then my top 10 must have items for herbalism. But instead, it's, I guess, my top 10 items for dealing with a Black Widow spider bite, and they would be patience, number 1, Benadryl, number 2, a comfy bed would be number 3, a nice soft blanket would be number 4, Netflix and other streaming services would be number 5, lots of fluids would be number 6, pain relievers number 7, and a loving husband would be number 8. He's taking such good care of me today, you guys. He's so sweet. I would also recommend getting an ice pack if you have a spider bite to deal with, because that helps with the swelling and the pain. And I think that was number 8. My phone, so I can make a video, would be number 9. And then a YouTube audience. So that's my 10 things for dealing with Black Widow's spider bite. Oh, the plantain poultice. All right, erase one of those and then add in the plantain and charcoal. So, herbalism lesson really quick. Plantain, not the banana. Plantain is a weed. There's 2 types, broadleaf and narrowleaf, and it grows all over the United States and in Europe. And it's an herb that draws things out. So if you got stung by a bee or bit by a spider, or you stepped on, you have a splinter that you can't get out with tweezers, anything that needs to be pulled from the skin can be pulled from the skin with plantain. Now, on its own, it's a powerful herb. And the way that I used it last night is I mashed it up in my mortar and pestle. I had the dry herb, so I mashed it up with my mortar and pestle and added water. And then I added some activated charcoal just for a little bit of extra drawing power. And then I just stuck the wet mush on the bite and covered it loosely with a bandage so that I wouldn't get charcoal and plantain all over my bed. The reason I use charcoal and plantain is because I'm, dealing with a Black Widow bite. Typically, if it was like a bee sting or some other milder bite, I would either just use plantain by itself, or you can use bentonite clay. You can use charcoal by itself. Some people use baking soda as a very gentle drawing poultice. I know a lot of people use that one for bug bites. But my recommendation is always going to be plantain. I actually have a little poem. If you guys are still here with me, I will absolutely tell it to you so that you can remember to use this. Okay, so it's bug bites, bee stings, venomous snakes. A little plantain is all it takes. Chew it up, spit it out, stick it on the pain. It will draw the venom out and you'll be right as rain. So that poem is meant for you to remember the herb when you're out in the field and something happens. So you're going for a hike in the woods with your friends, and all of a sudden you get stung by a yellow jacket and it hurts and you want to fix it, but you're 2 miles from the car and there's no cell phone reception. You look at the ground and you find some plantain, and then you can chew up the plantain leaf and stick that directly on the bite. Don't worry about microbes like bacteria and stuff. That poultice, plantain kills all that stuff. So when you put it on the bite or the splinter or whatever that you're trying to draw out, you don't have to worry about the germs in there. Make sure it's your spit, of course. You chew up the leaf and stick it on the bite or injury that you're trying to draw something from. Plantain is wonderful. It can draw out, when you go through like a raspberry patch, they have those fuzzy little thorns that get under your skin that you can't get with the tweezers. It's wonderful for that. Charcoal's also good for that. So like you're camping with your friends and you accidentally put your hand down on a prickly pear because we're in Colorado. I know not everybody's in Colorado, but this is just an experience that maybe I would have. You're camping with friends, somebody puts their hand down on a prickly pear and gets those fuzzy little thorns, and you don't have your kit with you, your first aid kit. What do? You go over to your cooled off campfire and you find a piece of charcoal. You crush that up, mix it with a little bit of water, and stick it on there, and it will draw out the splinters. If you can find plantain to mix it with, that's even better, because that'll create a much more powerful drawing poultice. So the poem again is: bug bites, bee stings, venomous snakes. A little plantain is all it takes. Chew it up, spit it out, stick it on the pane. It will draw the venom out, and you'll be right as rain. So I do these little poems to help teach my kids about herbs. And my daughter, who is going to be 5 next month, she walks around, she knows so many herbs already. She can find fennel, and she'll just like take a piece and eat it before I say anything. I told her, you can't just eat plants. And she's like, Mom, it's fennel. I know fennel. And I told her, there are poisonous plants that look like fennel, sweetheart. And so now she has me smell it and tell her if it's fennel or not. But she's so smart. She knows dandelions and common mallow and raspberry leaf and fennel. Fennel's her favorite. She loves fennel. And then my son, Jake, he's really into the poems, and he likes making the medicine. He's not really that big on being in nature because there's like bugs. He's not a fan of creepy crawlies, but he really likes to make medicine with me. So that's something. I love teaching children about herbs and herbalism. So I have a lot of little poems that help me remember and help them remember what an herb is and what it does. So it's, yeah, that's just my creative way of like helping kids learn about the tools they have at their disposal. So I'm going to go and probably sleep some more, because a venom hangover, as cool as it sounds, is not cool. I know it sounds like a punk band, but really all it is just a nasty day in bed. It's like a bad flu. So, do yourself a favor and change your sheets often. Shake out your blankets before you get into bed if you're anywhere that there's spiders in the wintertime. And, drink lots of water. Put cedar wood essential oil. You can make a spray. You can do what I did and just put a couple drops on a cotton ball. Put it all around your bed. And you can even stick one under your pillow to kind of keep any spiders, any creepy crawlies. Most bugs don't like cedar. Moths, spiders, ants, none of them like cedar. So you can put cedar all around your bed to keep the spiders off. And in your windowsills too, it'll keep them out of the house. So I'm going to go through when I'm feeling better, or I might have my husband do it while I'm feeling like crap. I can go through and put cedar around everybody's bed, put it in the windowsills, and do like wipe the door frames with it, and try to keep as many spiders and creepy crawlies out of the house this winter as possible, so that this doesn't happen again. I will say I'm incredibly grateful that it was me that got bit and not my husband and not my children, because I hate to see people suffer. I don't like to suffer myself, but I would rather have it be me than one of my babies, So yeah, I'm just gonna go now. You guys be good, take care of each other and yourselves. Be kind, drink lots of water, wear your masks, wash your hands, and shake out your blankets, and check your boots and your gloves and your coats. Anywhere a spider might hide, just shake everything, just, to be safe. Shake it up. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you next time.